Roscoe "Fatty" Arbuckle was one of Hollywood's biggest silent film stars, beloved for his comedic genius. But in 1921, his career took a shocking turn when he was accused of a crime that shook the entertainment industry. Arbuckle was at a party in San Francisco when actress Virginia Rapp fell ill and later died. Rumors spread like wildfire, with tabloids accusing Arbuckle of assaulting her, despite no concrete evidence. The press turned him into a villain overnight, and the scandal became one of Hollywood's most infamous. He faced 3 trials, 2 ended in hung juries, but the third finally acquitted him with an apology from the jury. Despite being legally cleared, his reputation was destroyed. Hollywood blacklisted him, and his career never recovered. He struggled for years, directing films under a pseudonym, before finally making a brief comeback. Tragically, just as he was set to return to the screen, he died in 1933. His case remains one of the most controversial in Hollywood history, proving how a single accusation can destroy even the brightest of stars. Lana Turner was the epitome of Hollywood glamour, known for her stunning beauty and captivating performances. But behind the scenes, her life was filled with drama, none more shocking than the 1958 murder of her lover, Johnny Stompanato. Stompanato, a mobster with ties to the Los Angeles underworld, had a notoriously abusive relationship with Turner. Their toxic romance reached a breaking point on April 4, 1958, when an argument turned violent in Turner's Beverly Hills home. In a shocking twist, Turner's 14-year-old daughter, Cheryl Crane, intervened, stabbing Stompanato in what she claimed was an act of self-defense to protect her mother. The case became a media frenzy, with speculation about whether Cheryl was truly the killer or if Turner herself was involved. After an intense investigation, the court ruled it a justifiable homicide, clearing Cheryl of any charges. Though Turner continued her career, the scandal haunted her for years. Some believed it was a tragic accident, while others whispered about a darker truth. To this day, the case remains one of Hollywood's most infamous mysteries. Johnny Stompanato wasn't a Hollywood star, but his name became forever tied to one of Tinseltown's most infamous scandals. A former Marine turned mob enforcer, Stompanato was a known associate of the feared Los Angeles gangster, Mickey Cohen. He was charming, dangerous, and had a weakness for famous women, one of whom was the glamorous actress Lana Turner. Their relationship was passionate, but filled with violence, as Stompanato was known for his jealousy and temper. In 1958, their toxic affair came to a tragic end. After a heated argument in Turner's Beverly Hills home, Turner's teenage daughter, Cheryl Crane, allegedly grabbed a knife and stabbed Stompanato, claiming she was protecting her mother from abuse. The case became a media sensation, with whispers that the truth was far more complicated. Some believed Cheryl was covering for her mother, while others suspected mob involvement. Despite the controversy, Cheryl was cleared of all charges in what was ruled a justifiable homicide. Stompanato's death cemented his place in Hollywood infamy, not for his crimes, but for the shocking way his story ended. Thomas Ince was a pioneer of early Hollywood, a visionary filmmaker who helped shape the industry. But his legacy became overshadowed by one of Hollywood's greatest unsolved mysteries, his sudden and suspicious death in 1924. Ince was invited aboard media mogul William Randolph Hearst's lavish yacht for a weekend of celebration. Also on board were some of Hollywood's biggest names, including actress Marion Davies and Charlie Chaplin. What was meant to be a glamorous getaway turned into a scandal when Ince reportedly fell ill and was rushed to shore, only to die the next day. Officially, the cause of death was listed as heart failure, but rumors quickly spread. Some claimed he had been accidentally shot by Hearst in a jealous rage, believing Ince was having an affair with Davies. Others suggested there was a cover-up to protect powerful Hollywood figures. Strangely, no autopsy was ever performed, fueling decades of speculation. To this day, the true circumstances of Ince's death remain unknown. Whether it was a tragic accident or something more sinister, his mysterious demise became one of early Hollywood's most enduring scandals. Barbara La Marr was known as the girl who was too beautiful, a silent film star whose beauty and talent captivated audiences in the 1920s. But behind her glamorous Hollywood image was a life of excess, scandal, and heartbreak. La Marr lived fast, partying with the elite, indulging in alcohol and drugs, and engaging in scandalous affairs. She married 5 times and had a reputation for being as wild off-screen as she was mesmerizing on-screen. Her downfall came when she was accused of living a lifestyle unfit for a young woman in the public eye. Some even claimed she had ties to criminals, further damaging her reputation. However, her greatest crime was arguably against herself. She pushed her body to the limit, ignoring warnings about her health. By 1925, at just 29 years old, years of substance abuse and exhaustion caught up with her. She died from tuberculosis and nephritis, a tragic end for a woman who had burned so brightly. Hollywood mourned her loss, but her legacy lived on. Her story became a cautionary tale of fame, beauty, and the dangers of excess in an unforgiving industry. George Raft was the quintessential tough guy of Hollywood, often cast in roles that reflected his real-life associations with the criminal underworld. A leading man in the 1930s and 1940s, Raft became famous for his portrayals of mobsters and gangsters. But what many didn't know was that his personal life mirrored the characters he played on screen, as he was closely linked to notorious figures in the New York Mafia, including mobster Dutch Schultz. Raft's connections to the criminal world weren't just limited to his roles. He was rumored to have been involved in illegal activities, and there were even whispers that he was a go-between for Hollywood and organized crime. He once allegedly turned down a role in The Godfather because he feared it would shine too much of a light on his past connections. Despite his tough guy image, Raft was a man of contradictions. His ties to the mob were never fully confirmed, but the rumors never stopped. Though he never faced criminal charges, his name was always associated with the shadowy side of Hollywood, where crime and fame often went hand in hand. His legacy is as much about his Hollywood persona as it is about the murky underworld he was rumored to navigate. Tom Neal was a promising actor in the 1940s, known for his roles in film noirs and his brooding, tough guy demeanor. However, his career was marred by scandal and an infamous crime that shocked Hollywood. Neal's personal life was tumultuous, particularly his bitter and violent relationship with his ex-wife, the actress Barbara Payton. Their toxic marriage was filled with infidelity, jealousy, and fights that played out both in public and behind closed doors. In 1965, the tragedy struck when Neal was involved in a deadly altercation with Payton's new boyfriend, a man named Tom Neal Jr. After a heated argument, Neal reportedly became enraged and killed the man in what was described as a fit of rage. Neal's involvement in the murder came as a surprise to many, as he had once been a rising star in Hollywood. The crime shattered what remained of his reputation, and he was sentenced to prison, his career and life never to recover. Neal's life became a tragic tale of fame, addiction, and uncontrollable anger, cementing his place in Hollywood history as one of the many stars who fell victim to their own dark impulses. Claude Rains was one of Hollywood's most respected and versatile actors, known for his roles in classics like The Invisible Man and Casablanca. With his distinctive voice and commanding presence, Rains became a favorite among filmgoers, often playing characters that were both mysterious and morally complex. Despite his success on screen, Rains' personal life was filled with intrigue and secrets that few knew about. In the early years of his career, Rains was involved in a notorious scandal involving his first wife, actress Beatrice Lillie. Their marriage, which seemed perfect on the surface, was marked by infidelity, secrecy, and betrayal. Rains was rumored to have had several affairs throughout his marriage, and one of the most whispered-about rumors was his alleged affair with fellow actress Ingrid Bergman, which was never publicly confirmed. Rains was also known for his strained relationships with his family, especially his daughter, who claimed that he was emotionally distant and hard to understand. Throughout his life, he kept much of his personal affairs under wraps, adding to the air of mystery that surrounded him. Despite his complicated private life, Rains' legacy as one of Hollywood's greatest actors endures. Joan Bennett was one of Hollywood's leading actresses during the 1930s and 1940s, known for her beauty, sophistication, and versatile performances in both drama and comedy. However, her glamorous career took a sharp turn when a scandal broke in the 1950s, one that forever changed her public image. In 1951, Bennett was involved in a shocking criminal case when her husband, screenwriter and director Walter Wanger, shot her manager, Jennings Lang, in a jealous fit of rage. The incident occurred after Wanger discovered that Bennett had been having an affair with Lang. Although the shooting was not fatal, it resulted in Wanger's conviction for assault with a deadly weapon. The scandal became a media sensation, casting a dark shadow over Bennett's once glittering career. Hollywood, known for its love of scandals, responded with mixed reactions, but the damage to Bennett's reputation was undeniable. Despite the controversy, Bennett continued to work in the industry, eventually finding a second act on television. Her legacy is a complicated one marked by both her incredible talent and the scandal that followed her personal life, reminding us that the brightest stars can sometimes have the darkest secrets. Thomas Gomez was a character actor who became synonymous with playing villains and tough guys on screen. With his distinctive deep voice and commanding presence, he was often cast in roles that reflected his rugged exterior, appearing in numerous films during the 1940s and 1950s. Known for his portrayals of gangsters and criminals, Gomez's characters were often the antagonists, but off-screen, he was a far cry from the menacing figures he portrayed. However, his career was overshadowed by a series of personal struggles that were far less known to the public. Despite his fame, Gomez faced battles with depression and alcoholism, which plagued both his personal and professional life. Rumors circulated about his struggles behind the scenes, with many saying his erratic behavior on set stemmed from his inner turmoil. Gomez's career was a complex tapestry of success and hardship. He never became a leading man, but his portrayal of villains and morally ambiguous characters left a lasting impression on Hollywood. Tragically, like many of his peers, he never quite achieved the fame or recognition that his talent deserved, often overshadowed by his battles off-screen. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and comment. Also, consider subscribing and hitting the notification bell to be notified of our new videos each day. Thanks for watching.